lot has been said about this show by the usual suspects. They came out and they review bombed it. That got the audience score down to 32% earlier today. Rotten Tomatoes automatically rescinded a lot of those because they were
malicious.
Submitted before the show even came out. So they took those away. The reviews have been mixed, but for the most part have been positive, which I think for a lot of people is somewhat confusing because it sat on the shelf for 3 years and people are wondering, well, it must have been bad and that's why they sat on it. It's probably more complicated than that, but let's hear what everybody else has to say about the show.
Sorry. They filmed all that stuff 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was like, filmed like 3 years. It's been sitting on the shelf for a long time. So, you know, we don't know why.
So, my apologies. So, filming began June of 2022. Filming wrapped in November of 2022, and then based off of reshoots, they had to delay the reshoots because of the SAG and the after strike.
Oh yeah,
but the show was done by November of 2022.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
I kind of wish.
So they sat on it for almost 3 years.
I mean, the only reason why I'm questioning the 3 years, not questioning you or anything, because it's surprising me, because it felt like a TV show. Watching it, it didn't feel like they filmed a movie and cut it up like all the rest of them up until Daredevil, because Daredevil felt like a TV show.
Right.
And this also feels like a TV show. Like it has stuff that happens in each episode that does transfer over, but it's not like, okay, we're going to cut it right here. And then, you know, I like it.
It's good.
I'm really enjoying what I'm watching. I laughed a little bit. And I'm like, wow, that's some deep shit. And just seeing Riri, because she's not just a simple character as what may be portrayed in Black Panther. She has a little bit complex to her. They gave her some complex shit that's going on with her that, she has to deal with. And not only, multitude of complex stuff that she has to deal with, which is, interesting. And makes a character more complex, in my honest opinion. What makes them interesting. So I like the show. Wish it was a little bit more than 6 episodes. That's okay, because I'm going to be there for all 6 of them.
It was okay. I mean, from what I saw, kind of like, it just reminds me, like, what was it? The Ant-Man, like the heist thing.
Because
the
they're
first
doing
Ant-Man,
heists and shit.
they're doing all that stuff. Now, interesting part was the end. I'm not going to spoil the end, but if I think how they're going to do it, it's going to be kind of interesting. The person they're bringing in. The villain that they might bring in. But I don't know.
The man behind the man.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm curious if they do that. I mean, where do they go from it? Because
is it the person that I mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the problem is, it's going to be a lot more. Well, can this character flourish in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because you have to think about the other elements to like other characters, other aspects of his like evil doings or whatnot. So will this work at the end? I don't know. But so far it's interesting. Will I watch the rest? I'll probably just wait till all 6 come out and watch it.
I mean, you only got to wait a week, so it's not a bad
big
deal. Right.
But am I like excited or like invested in it? Not really.
I enjoyed it. The part of the show that is the weakest to me is the other part of the squad that she's working with.
The underlings, the Hood's underlings?
Yeah. Okay. Some of them are slightly standout. Some of them seem to be a little bit over the top. And then again, it's comic book related, so it's supposed to be over the top. It's supposed to be big personalities.
Right.
But I don't know. I like the actor playing the Hood. He does solid work, and I enjoy his portrayal of it so far. And the seem like torment that he's going through carrying that particular artifact, because that's, I'm going to say it's a damn artifact, because we've seen it in What If as well. So far, they're doing okay with it. I like the fact that we get to see more of Riri's personality fleshed out, and a little bit more about her and her family life. I almost automatically allow a show's first episode to be written off as recap or world build, and that's fine. Second episode, pacing wise, is like, okay, let's get into it, and they go right into the story. So they did a good job with it. The third episode out of the 3 is the best, because that's where most of the stuff happens. You know, you get a good good amount of storytelling and all that sort of thing. Plus, they brought in a character who is very connected to the origin of the MCU. So I'm not going to spoil that,
Okay.
but I like the fact that they went there with that, and that
I was very surprised.
Yeah, and they kind of give you that link that for those that have read the comics know that Tony Stark plays a huge part in Riri's story. He's not around anymore, so how are we going to kind of bring that Stark link in? And they did it, and I like how they did it, and it works for me. We'll see what happens with what happened. So we'll see what happens with that. So it's like, okay, he might switch. They might flip a switch on him.
Yeah,
so for me, what I would like to say is I only got to see 2 episodes due to circumstances beyond my control. The first 2 episodes I thought, much like what Fallen said and what you're saying, the pacing I thought was really well done. Contrary to what a lot of the trolls like to say, yes, it's not completely original in that she's created an iron suit and she's a genius. The difference here is that it's a genius teenage black female, right? And the other thing about this show that is highlighted is that this show is unapologetically black, right? And I think that's what a lot of the negativity comes from, is that people are mad that it's unafraid to be unapologetically black, much like Black Panther was, but they accepted that because it's Black Panther, right? Yeah. It's in Africa. They don't have to, feed into any stereotypes or anything like that. And I'm not saying that this show delved into any real stereotypical stuff. I just think that the way they handled everything with Riri, it felt like it was really focused on her. I'm with you with the hood's goons. They kind of are just window dressing. They're kind of just there. You don't really get to know too much about them, which you probably shouldn't anyway. They're background characters. They're serving their role. Yeah. It's about the hood. It's about Riri. It's about this other guy, Alden Ehrenreich, who played Han Solo. I think the chemistry between the two of them is really well done. And of course, the whole thing with her best friend, some people are going to feel some kind of way about an AI acting this way, right? And I can understand that, because I think there was points that I even felt like, I don't know if I like this part, because it's different than what we're used to with an AI.
It's like, we need to stop thinking on your own, and you need to freaking help me out.
You think of Jarvis, you think of Friday, and they didn't really act like Natalie does.
They just does exactly what she's supposed to do.
Right. So I think that's for some people that might be a little bit turn off